All right, we're gonna go over how to properly sharpen our pencils and what the different hardness of our pencils mean. As a reminder, we're using General's charcoal in this class. We're not using graphite or anything like that. We all wanna be using the same materials, that way it's easier to critique. There are other brands of charcoal, but they are typically more expensive and lower quality. So General's charcoal is my personal favorite. I use it in my own drawings too. It is typically the cheapest pencil and the highest quality pencil that you can get. These pencils come in different hardnesses. So if you see here, this one says it's a 6B. That is the softest pencil. The hardest, so it goes from 6B to 4B to 2B to HB. If you are incredibly heavy-handed, like if every time that you draw and you look at the back of the paper, you can see the marks coming through the back of the paper, that means you're heavy-handed. That means you should probably use an HB pencil. If you're very light-handed, which you can usually tell if you're very light-handed, because when you try and make a mark with an HB pencil, you can't. You probably want to use a 6B or a 4B pencil. I'm very light-handed, so you'll often see me using 6Bs, 4Bs, occasionally a 2B. 4B and 2B are sort of like the middle ground. 4B is like a little soft and 2B is a little hard, right? I always encourage students to experiment, try out the different pencils, see which one you like, and get more of the pencils that you do like. I will never say, today we're gonna use a 6B, today we're gonna use a 2B. I want you to make the materials work for you, right? So when we sharpen, we're gonna use an X-Acto knife. We're not gonna use a box cutter because that's not safe. So you should have an X-Acto knife. When you hold the X-Acto knife, you're never gonna touch the blade. You're gonna touch the handle only, okay? When we go to sharpen, we're gonna do it always over a trash can. Don't do it on your floor or in the classroom, because then you'll get pencil shavings everywhere. So when I go to sharpen, I'm going to first peel back the wood, and I'm going to hold, this is my dominant hand, I'm right-handed, so my hand will go like this. And I'll hold the blade parallel with the pencil, and then I'm going to put pressure through with my non-dominant hand. So no pressure here, only pressure here. And we're gonna do this a couple times, so don't worry. I'm gonna peel back the wood, and I'm going to try and expose the lead. I also, on this X-Acto knife, don't wanna put my hands here, because this is how I loosen my blade. And if I'm putting pressure there, it's gonna loosen the blade as I'm sharpening, and it's a nightmare. So I don't love this X-Acto knife because I have to hold it so far back, but you know, what I have to do is what I gotta do. This is the X-Acto knife I have. So again, holding my knife parallel with my pencil, putting pressure through my non-dominant thumb. And I'm going to peel back the layers of the wood here, and we're gonna bring this pencil to a nice, fine, sharp point. And I'm not putting an incredible amount of pressure. Like I said, I'm very light-handed. So I don't put down a lot of pressure just to begin with. So this is not a lot of pressure. Remember, I'm not a lumberjack. So I'm not trying to like cut through the wood here. I'm just trying to expose the charcoal lead. I am also hyper aware that not all of these pencils are created equally. So I'm feeling like right here, there is some extra glue. The glue is what's like holding the lead inside of the wood. When you feel extra glue, or if you feel a knot in the wood, that is a sign to go slower and put less pressure. If you put more pressure, that is how you break your pencil. So if I'm feeling some resistance, I go slower, put less pressure. I want to bring my pencil to the point where it's sort of like this, where I've got the lead, and then I'm going to change how I'm holding my pencil. I'm going to hold it so it's at a slight angle now. So I'm going from parallel to slight angle, and I'm going to glide it across. As I'm doing this, this is no pressure whatsoever. So this is just gliding it across. If you put pressure down right now, the lead will snap. So this is no pressure, just gliding it across. If you ordered your pencils from Amazon, sometimes you'll find that the lead is broken all the way through because whoever delivered your package didn't care and dropped it and did a bunch of things. So sometimes, even if you're sharpening your pencil the right way, the lead could just be broken inside. And there's nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. You just have to toss the pencil and hope that your other one isn't also broken. But this one I think we're going to be able to get pretty sharp. It is not broken inside, thankfully. And I'm rotating this as I go. So I'm rotating as I'm gliding the pencil, or gliding the X-Acto knife across the pencil lead. No pressure. And this takes a little bit of time. I have to be pretty patient here. Oh, I lost that point a little bit. Let's try and bring it back. Just gonna do some targeted sharpening here. Some of them get really, really sharp and nice and pretty, and some of them a little less so. So I kind of work with what the pencil's willing to give me. I think that's as nice and pretty as I'll get that one. Not too bad. Let's do another one together. I like to use my pencils until they get like really, really small. So this is still a good amount of pencil for me. So I'm gonna peel back the lead. I can feel there's like a knot of glue in there somewhere. So I'm going to be extra careful. I don't want to put down too much pressure because I don't want to snap the pencil in half. Okay, I've exposed a bunch of my lead. I'm now going to, again, change the way I'm holding my knife. And I'm going to just glide across, putting no pressure down. Just try and bring it to a nice fine point. I'm rotating as I go, no pressure. It's a good idea also to have 15 sharpened pencils before you start drawing. That way you're not sharpening a pencil, drawing, sharpening a pencil, drawing, sharpening a pencil, drawing. That way you can just keep drawing until all your pencils are broken. That way you're not breaking your focus. Happens to the best of us. This one's getting pretty small, so I might save this one for when I have a little bit more patience, and I'll switch to another pencil. I love when that happens because sometimes when I do a demo on sharpening pencils, every pencil sharpens perfectly, and then you guys are like, how come I can't do that? It happens to me too, right? So I'm gonna switch to a different pencil, one that, you know, hopefully doesn't have broken lead inside and won't snap on me. So I'm going to peel back the layers of the wood again. That way you guys can see this part of the process too. But it happens to me, it'll happen to you. And I can see in this one, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but there's a little piece there that looks like it could be broken. Sometimes you can see it as you're going. I'm going to keep pushing forward, but I'm going to keep that in mind that I saw something that could be a little broken. So I'm going to be extra careful because I don't want to make that crack worse. I'm going to look a little closely here. It could just be glue. There could just be something there, but something shows me that the integrity of this lead probably isn't the best either. Gliding my X-Acto knife across, twirling as I go, trying to bring it to a nice fine point. Definitely not putting any pressure down here. Maybe it was a little piece of glue and not a crack, but I'm still gonna be safe rather than sorry here. Another great thing about sharpening your pencil before you start drawing, sharpening all your pencils, is, you know, if something breaks, it doesn't feel like, oh gosh, no, this is taking up my time, you know? If you're trying to sharpen one pencil at a time as you're drawing, the situation feels much more dire. So it's important to come to class early, sharpen your pencils. It's important if you're working on homework or working from home, that before you start drawing that you get all of your pencils nice and sharp. Oh, we might be able to get this one really nice. Maybe my doubts were wrong. Oh, yeah, it's looking pretty. Yeah, and there we go. Nice sharp pencil. That's exactly what we're looking for. Perfect. And that is how we properly sharpen our charcoal pencils.